Life sometimes pushes people to a point where only two paths remain, one of survival and the other of humanity. Alina had nothing growing up. No home, no family, just endless nights on the cold streets. But she had one thing that made those dark times bearable. Her best friend, Rehan. They were just kids, struggling to stay warm, sharing a single piece of bread, and dreaming of a future that seemed impossible. "One day we'll be rich," Rehan used to say, his voice full of hope. "And when that day comes, we'll never go to sleep hungry again." Alina would always smile, pretending to believe it. Deep down, she knew dreams didn't come true for people like them. Then, one cruel winter night, fate separated them. Alina was taken in by an elderly couple who saw her potential. They gave her warmth, education, and a chance at a real life. Years passed, and against all odds, she built an empire from nothing. She became a millionaire, known for her success and generosity. But no amount of wealth could erase the memory of the little boy who once held her hand in the dark. Then, one day, she saw him again. And what she did next would leave the world speechless. Alina was walking through the city when she saw a familiar figure sitting on a worn-out bench, staring at the ground. Her heart pounded. It was Rehan, older, thinner, and with tired eyes. But it was him. He hadn't changed much, except now, life had taken its toll on him. She hesitated for a moment, unsure if he would recognize her. Taking a deep breath, she stepped forward. "Rehan?" she said softly. His head jerked up, and for a second he looked confused. Then his eyes widened. "Alina?" His voice was hoarse, disbelieving. Tears welled up in her eyes. "It's me," she whispered, kneeling beside him. "What happened to you?" Rehan chuckled bitterly. "Life happened. I tried to make something of myself, but luck was never on my side. I work odd jobs, sleep where I can, but I'm surviving." Alina's chest tightened. The friend who once dreamed of a better future was now barely holding on. Without another word, she grabbed his hand. "Not anymore," she said firmly. "Come with me." Rehan hesitated. "Alina, But she wouldn't let him refuse, not this time. Rehan followed Alina, confused but too exhausted to argue. She led him to a sleek black car parked nearby. As they drove, he fidgeted in his seat, still trying to understand what was happening. "Where are we going?" he finally asked. Alina glanced at him, a soft smile on her lips. "Home," she said. Rehan frowned. "I don't have a home." "You do now," she replied. Minutes later, the car stopped in front of a massive glass building. Rehan's eyes widened as he read the golden letters above the entrance. Alina Enterprises. "You..." His voice caught. "You own this?" Alina nodded. "After the orphanage closed, I had nothing. I worked hard, built this company from scratch, but none of this matters if I can't help the people who were there for me when I had nothing." Rehan swallowed hard. "I don't need charity, Alina. This isn't charity," she cut him off. "It's a second chance, like the one you gave me when we were kids. Do you remember?" Rehan's mind drifted to the past, to the little girl he once protected from bullies, the nights he shared his only meal with her. He never thought she would be the one saving him one day. Alina reached into her bag and handed him a key. "This is yours. A new home, a fresh start. All I ask is that you don't give up on yourself." Rehan's hands trembled as he held the key. For the first time in years, hope flickered inside him. The elevator doors opened to a lavish penthouse with floor-to-ceiling windows, showcasing the city's skyline. Rehan stepped inside, overwhelmed by the luxury. He hesitated, feeling out of place. "I can't accept this, Alina," he muttered. "It's too much." Alina walked past him, placing a file on the marble countertop. Then don't think of it as a gift. Think of it as an investment. He frowned. Investment? She nodded. You were always the smartest person I knew, Rehan. You taught me survival when I had nothing. Now I want you to work with me. Rehan stared at the file, his hands clenching. I'm not that guy anymore. I've been struggling for too long. Alina crossed her arms. You think I don't know struggle? I slept on the streets too, remember? The only difference is I didn't let it define me, and neither should you. Her words cut through him. He exhaled slowly, then reached for the file. It was an employment contract, with a high-ranking position waiting for him. You're serious about this? He asked, still unsure. Alina smiled. Dead serious. The world tried to break us, Rehan, but we survived. Now it's time to rise. For the first time in years, Rehan felt something other than defeat. He felt possibility. Rehan flipped through the contract, his hands trembling. The salary alone was more than he had ever dreamed of. But it wasn't just about the money. It was about dignity, a chance to rebuild. He looked up at Alina, her eyes filled with determination. Why me? You could hire anyone. Alina leaned against the counter, her voice soft. Because I don't forget the people who were there when I had nothing. When I was starving, you shared your food. When I was freezing, you gave me your jacket. I never got to pay you back. Rehan scoffed, shaking his head. I didn't do it for payback. And I'm not doing this out of pity, she countered. I know your worth, Rehan, and I need someone I can trust, someone who knows what real struggle is. That's why it has to be you. Rehan swallowed hard. His whole life, he had been overlooked, underestimated. But Alina saw him. She always had. Slowly, he placed the file down and extended his hand. Okay, I'm in. Alina grinned, shaking his hand firmly. Good, because this is just the beginning. Months passed, and Rehan proved himself beyond anyone's expectations. He didn't just work hard. He revolutionized the company. His ideas, shaped by years of struggle, brought efficiency and heart to the business. Employees who once ignored him now respected him. Investors who wouldn't give him a second glance now sought his advice. One evening, as he stood in his office, overlooking the city skyline, Alina walked in. You did it, she said with a smile. Rehan turned to her, shaking his head. We did it, she chuckled. You always say that. Because it's true, he replied. You didn't just give me a job. You gave me a chance, and I'll never forget that. Alina nodded, knowing exactly how he felt. Because years ago she had stood in the same place, feeling the same gratitude. Rehan exhaled, looking at his reflection in the glass. Now, it's time to do for others what you did for me. And with that, he made a decision, one that would change even more lives.